welcome to the Art of Artisan. 3 quick notes. First, you may notice the record says 2-3. I am currently, in some of my other time, recording a task, and so I mute my microphone for that. I accidentally recorded this entire video, all 5 games, and the intro, and then realized my microphone was still on mute from when I had last been working on the task. Second note, I am not going to be doing Wednesday videos anymore. It's just too much of a stress on my wild cards. I am not gonna, it's not sustainable, so I'm going to go back to only doing every Wednesday. That way I can do cooler decks instead of just decks that are similar to my other decks, because I have enough wild cards to finish those. And lastly, I am going to be writing for MTG Goldfish. That's just a quick shameless plug, but if you check out the website in the coming days, I will be putting out an article there about some cool artisan decks for ladder, just as a hyper budget article. It's not going to be designed around artisan as a competitive format. It's going to be designed around artisan as a ladder budget format. And so with that out of the way, let's talk about this deck. Today we are trying to break Oketra's Monument. Oketra's Monument makes our creatures cheaper, and it makes it so that we can create a 1/1 creature whenever we cast a creature. So, the way that we're going to break it is with Aviary Mechanic, Shepherd of the Flock, and Loyal Gryph. All 3 of these are creatures that come with the ability to return another creature to our hand. So let's say we have 2 Aviary Mechanics. We play one and return nothing to our hand. Then we play the second one and return the first one to our hand. Then we play the first one and return the second one to our hand. With Oketra's Monument, Aviary Mechanic only costs 1 mana, so that's 1 mana, create a 1/1 token. And you can do that as many times as you want every turn. And that is the engine that we are trying to create with this deck. But of course, that requires Oketra's Monument, and while these pieces are redundant, Oketra's Monument is only a 4 of, so our backup plan is just card draw weenies. We've got Thraben Inspector, we've got Spirited Companion, we've got Inspiring Overseer. All of these can draw us cards. They work well with Oketra's Monument, as we can just spam through the deck with a bunch of cheap creatures that draw cards. They also work well with these, as we can play them and then bounce them back to our hand and draw again with them. So this is kind of the backup while we're waiting to assemble the combo, and it helps us to assemble the combo, so it works out great. As far as payoffs for the combo, we've got 3. Shepherd Dunes should be a 4 of, but as I mentioned, wildcard issues. This is a great finisher in our deck, but I just can't afford 4 copies. Lunarch Veteran is life gain for our deck and another 1-drop. Also interestingly, its backside is fairly effective, since these are going to be removing creatures from the battlefield constantly. And it only costs 1 from our graveyard with Oketra's Monument down. And Heraldic Banner. This both provides mana so that we can repeat the loop over and over and over on our turn, and it also gives us +1 to all of our creatures, which should help us to finish the game with all of our 2/1 tokens. Conclave Tribunal, another card I'm low on wild cards for. I should have 2 or maybe even 3 of this, like trimming perhaps Inspiring Overseers. And Kavira Takedown. Both of these are just really good removal spells if you have enough creatures. Lands, we're fairly heavy on lands for this deck, with a total, including MDFCs and Shepherd Dunes. We've got 27 lands in this deck. Kavira Takedown's almost always a removal spell, but we need a lot of lands because our loop and all of these cards are actually drawing us cards, and we need to have a bunch of mana to actually play everything every turn. Because we're just going to have so many non-land spells in our hands just because of these 11 cards. And that is White Monument. I already recorded the video, so I know it went 2-3 on my first go with it, but I did make some mistakes along the way, so let's see if I can go again, and let's see if we can get a better record. Once again, thanks for watching the video, and let's get to the games. Getting into game 1, which is actually kind of game 6, versus Vorux. This hand, 2 Oketra's Monuments, and no 1 or 2 drops. Oh, it's such a risky keep. We don't even have 3 white mana, and we're going first. Oh, but we have everything. I'm going to greed keep this. I'm going to hope our opponent's not aggressive. Watch them be mono red. I was facing mostly control decks, in my first go, so I may be a bit biased towards keeping this hand, but this is the first time I've had Oketra's Monument in my opening hand, which is kind of what we want the deck to be doing. So we're going to keep it. Sweet. Okay. Hello, opponent. We are going to start engineering off here. Plains into Oketra's Monument. The next turn we can Heraldic Banner into Inspiring Overseer. Grixis. Grixis, some sort of control. I like it. And actually, with that card down, I think we want enough blockers to keep it at bay. So we're going to run out both Inspiring Overseers. Ooh, that's every single Heraldic Banner in the deck. Yikes, that's actually kind of not good. Oh, that's great, though. That is great. These Heraldic Banners will actually turn out to be fairly solid. Yes, I don't think our opponent has a way to attack in this turn, which means we can play Heraldic Banner, and these Vigilance creatures can get in without getting blocked by Thief of Sanity very well. Is opponent missing land drops? Okay, no, we're good. I want a nice, clean fight. No mana screw, no mana flood. We may end up a little bit mana screwed. We actually want to draw land next turn, because then we can play out all 3 Heraldic Banners, which would be kind of hilarious. We don't get it, but... Okay, so Heraldic Banner. Oh, we wouldn't have been able to cast all 3 anyways. On white. And Lunarch Veteran. Which is going to start gaining us a ton of life soon. And then since we're going to be bouncing one of these Overseers to hand, we're going to swing in with it. Bonk, bonk, bonk. And return Inspiring Overseer to hand while gaining 2 life. We're going to hope our opponent doesn't have a sweeper in hand right now. That would be a little bit brutal, but we would at least have an Inspiring Overseer in hand, and we've got some stuff that survives sweepers. Like Grixis can't really handle... I guess they can, the red can handle artifacts, but I would not expect a Grixis control list to be really ready for Heraldic Banners and such. Like, certainly we need creatures to make Oketra's Monument and Heraldic Banner good. Okay, Flame Sweep. That's solid. That's actually really solid. Well played, opponent. They're going to get one of our garbage cards. Because our cards are really more synergistic than good. Oh, thank you. Really should not have played into that Wrath so heavily. I just was hoping. Let's draw a card. Get a 1/1. This deck is so good. Sweet. Alright. Let's do this. Pop Inspiring Overseer back into the hand. And I think we'll just play... Oh, I should have played out a Lunarch Veteran. I think we'll just play out Heraldic Banner on white and really play around the second sweeper. Yeah, we'll call that good. End turn. We have enough creatures and some more card draw in hand. We've got Shephet Dunes. We've got lethal on board with the Shephet Dunes and with the Heraldic Banner in hand. Our opponent needs to do something to sweep our board or get more blockers into play. Loyal Griff will be a good draw eventually. What does our opponent have from us? Looks like they need to play them for blockers. But like Oketra's Monument, pretty bad in their deck. Heraldic Banner, pretty bad in their deck. Plains, pretty bad in their deck. Lunarch Veteran, pretty bad in their deck. Like, and all of our 11 bounce creatures, pretty bad in their deck. Okay, that's... Oh no. Do they have a second one? Did they get 2 of our Kabira takedowns? Nope. Okay. That was a punt on our opponent's part. Oh, that sucks. Sorry, opponent. Okay, can we win this turn? So we can Heraldic Banner, turn these into 4/4s. We can get our opponent down to 1 life. Oh, that's so close. Okay, white. Swing in with these two. Now we're threatening lethal in many ways, but I think we still play out the Overseer. Our opponent knows we have it. It makes it hard for them to win without a sweeper. And we still have the Lunarch Veterans in the graveyard, which a single one threatens lethal unless they get another blocker because of Oketra's Monument. Yes, they're removing 1/1. Removing 1/1 is where we want to be. They attack? Are they just desperate at this point? Yeah, there's nothing in our deck that's going to help you, opponent. Unless they have another Flame Sweep, I think we've got them. Or Meat Hook Massacre. Meat Hook Massacre could get us here. And the opponent scoops it up. Wow. Yeah, getting a bunch of 4/1 getting a 4/1 creature whenever you cast another creature in a deck full of cantrips and bounce creatures, that'll do pretty well against control. Alright, let's go to game number 2. Game number 3 versus Dr. Django. And we've got a good opening hand. Only thing that would make it better is like a Thraben Inspector or a Lunarch Veteran. Or a couple of bouncers, but we've got most of what we want here. Hello to you too, opponent. Opponent on something blue and black. Ugh. Foretells a card. Also, yeah. Although our deck is better against blue-black control than I think any sort of white control, just because they can't handle our Oketra's Monument. Wait, SultAi again? Is this just SultAi Ramp? Is this a popular deck all of a sudden? Emergent Ultimatum, perhaps? Haven. Yeah, this is looking like Emergent Ultimatum. Shoot, I hate that deck. Our opponent's just going to be way too fast for us. This is going to suck. Gain 3 life. Yeah, we're not going to beat this. It's just so fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Emergent Ultimatum, if they have 1 blue mana, comes down next turn. We'll Heraldic Banner for white. And we'll Inspiring Overseer. We need to draw another creature very soon. Because if our opponent gets Vorinclex down, actually, no, we're not going to let them get Vorinclex down. If they do Emergent Ultimatum, we can't. That's like probably the worst one to let them keep. Thraben Inspector, that's good. Okay, so we're going real wide. This is actually looking really effective, but we're pretty bad. Actually, we're pretty well split on our mana values for Extinction Event, and that's the only sweeper I'd imagine our opponent's playing. Hopefully there's no Meat Hook Massacre coming in here. Yeah, Extinction Event we're okay with. Okay, they choose Evens. That just makes our bouncers better, though. Okay, this is Emergent Ultimatum. They've got blue mana in play now. We're dead next turn, most likely. So we're going to Plains. Crack the Clue. Hope for Shephet Dunes. Shephet Dunes. Okay, no Shephet Dunes. We could still draw Shephet Dunes here. Did I play a Plains already? Okay, good. It didn't matter. Heraldic Banner on white. And save up Kabira Takedown. Oh, Kabira Takedown could be sweet. We could blow them out if they go for Vorinclex. Wait, we don't have enough creatures. We don't have enough creatures, but we are split over Okay, Alvern's Epiphany. That's good. What do they got besides it? Nothing? Nothing? Is this just SultAi ramp with Alvern's Epiphany? Swinging in. Like, they have to kill every single one of our creatures here. If they don't have a hard Wrath, Alvern's Epiphany. Okay, it's up to the top of our opponent's deck. Even if they draw a creature, we can kill it with Kabira Takedown. And we win. Oh, I'm so glad that wasn't an emergent ultimatum. Oh, that was great. Well, let's go on to game number 4. Game number 4 versus Gregolas. I like the name. There are a lot of good names here on Arena. I'm genuinely impressed. And we will keep this. This is a pretty good hand. With just Lunarch Veteran into Lunarch Veteran into Inspiring Overseer. And Kabira Takedown, that's nice. Green-white for our opponent. That's probably humans. I can't think of much else that goes those colors. Paradise Druid. Okay. I'm not sure what our opponent's doing then. We'll just Inspiring Overseer. And we are happy to trade a Lunarch Veteran with a Paradise Druid. Bonk bonk. Go opponent. And Overgrown Farmland, Maskwood Nexus. Okay, our opponent's doing something unfair. I don't know what it is, but it is definitely going to be unfair, whatever it is. Alright, we're going to gain some life. We just need a race then. Heraldic Banner, that is the best card for racing. Let's go. An opponent, what do you have up your sleeve? Why do you need Maskwood Nexus in your deck? Bishop of Wings. Okay, I like it. It triggers off itself. Oh, dang. That's good. That's real good. Yeah, we need to kill that. Heraldic Banner. For white. Into Lunarch Veteran. We're going to gain more life than our opponent here. And if we get Oketra's Monument and another Aviary Mechanic effect, we may be able to just outpace the opponent. And we're going to have to kill one of these. That's way too much life gain. Every time you play a creature, gain 4 life. Yep, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, they held control for a little bit. I was worried about that. So we'll just get in for 6. And we're both at, our life totals total 50 right now. Oh gosh. That's ridiculous. 29 life to 29 life. Who will win? We will swing in with our Inspiring Overseers. I mean, our opponent hasn't presented any way to win the game. They've just presented a way to not lose the game. And I think we can do better than their not lose the game with our win the game. But we need to draw into it. Inspiring Overseer to hand. Inspiring Overseer to the battlefield. Oketra's Monument off the top. Or a second Aviary Mechanic. We can just start bouncing Aviary Mechanics to trigger Lunarch Veteran over and over. Plains is not what we want. Okay, your go opponent. I think we're going to lose this one. Oh, Giada. That's... that is a fun little combo pile that our opponent's got going on. I like it. I don't like that it's beating us. So this is like Angel Tribal, but with Maskwood Nexus. Okay, this is fun. We can gain some life here. Or do we just bounce Inspiring Overseer? We'll bounce Spirited Companion and hope to just draw deeper into our deck. Like, we can gain life, but I don't know that I'm that worried about life yet. Other planes. Planes, planes, planes. Yeah, we'll swing in with these. Opponent all the way down to 33 life. Should have played a planes there. My bad. Righteous Valkyrie. Okay, that pumps the team. And our opponent's playing Maskwood Nexus Angels. That is the weirdest deck I can imagine, but it is working so well. Oh my gosh, it's working way too well. We will not block. I mean, we have a bit of life total to spare here. I don't think we can keep up even if we draw Oketra's Monument and an Aviary Mechanic. Like, we can't beat our opponent making an 11/11, and then that is Oketra's Monument. All right, we'll see if it works. We'll see if we can win with Oketra's Monument. But our opponent has flyers. Yeah, this Righteous Valkyrie is going to kill us eventually on its own. Although they won't want to swing in with Giada. That much I'm fairly certain of. And the opponent gains 20 life off of a single Maskwood Nexus trigger. Oh, yikes. Thraben Inspector, we'll do one chump here. Yep. Then we'll take a gazillion damage and see if we can somehow stall our opponent out. Planes. And we lose. Way to go, opponent. Yeah, I don't know what else we could do besides what we did. That was just our opponent having a great draw with Maskwood Nexus and Bishop of Wings. That Bishop of Wings was surprisingly good that game. Just all the life gain made it impossible for us to race. And we scoop it up. Alrighty. That was game number 4, I believe. So let's get to game 5 and see if we can even out the record. The final game, going for a tied record. And I like this hand. I like this hand a lot. Drawing into Oketra's Monument, as usual, is what we need, but we can't just mulligan into Oketra's Monument, as good as it is in this deck. Like, we need other pieces too. Critical mass of creatures generally. Alright, we're just going to draw our way through our deck. Next turn, Thraben Inspector and Spirited Companion. Then the turn after that, Aviary Mechanic and Spirited Companion. Vampires. Okay. Let's see what we can do against vampires. Spirited Companion. Draws us a card, gains us a life. The life gain is going to be huge here, I think. Raven Inspector. Gains us a life. We investigate. No attacks. Oketra's Monument is such a good draw here. Yikes. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 on each attacking creature. Shoot, that is going to kill us way too fast. Yeah, that's a card we need to draw into our either Oketra's Monument to gain a gazillion life, or that's not good. Or we need to draw Kabira Takedown. Kabira Takedown could help us out a lot here. Drana gets in. Oh wow, they didn't attack with the Legion Lieutenant. Okay. That's the Monument. Okay. Time to just go better than what our opponent's doing. Aviary Mechanic is going to bounce Aviary Mechanic. Aviary Mechanic is going to bounce Aviary Mechanic. Alright, that's good. No attacks. So we've got the Aviary Mechanic loop going, which is the best of our Oketra Monument loops. And I think even if our opponent keeps growing the Drana, we're just going to beat them eventually. Mirror Box. Mirror Box Vampires. Okay. That is extremely spicy. Alright. We're going to draw a card. Heraldic Banner. Let's go. Put that on white. Then Aviary Mechanic for Aviary Mechanic. And then Aviary Mechanic for Aviary Mechanic. And we are doing pretty well on the board state here. And if our opponent's a creature heavy deck, I don't expect them to Wrath, which is why I'm committing so hard to this. We'll just attack with these. And our opponent's facing down a pretty tough board here. Oh wow, do they have protection for it? No, they don't. They're sweeping. They are probably sweeping. Also, I just realized I can play another Plains. And I think I'll play this and pull back an Aviary Mechanic. Your go, opponent. Okay, Godless Shrine. Swings in. Am I about to get meat hooked for a gazillion? Meat hook I could see happening. Massacre. That is a board wipe. For sure. Yeah, that's gonna kill your own Drana. That's a pretty good board wipe there. But sadly for our opponent, it's not gonna save them. We get to play Lunarch Veteran. Yeah, I was not expecting the board wipe from this deck, but I guess they had it. Aviary Mechanic. Gonna return Luminous Phantom to hand. So now we have another Lunarch Veteran going. And then we'll Aviary Mechanic. Pulling back our Aviary Mechanic. And then we'll Aviary Mechanic, pulling back Aviary Mechanic. We'll do this a couple more times. Hope our opponent does not have another Massacre Girl. But I think we should have lethal after this chain. Just presenting lethal at our opponent. With so many we're going to have 8 2/1s in just our Vigilant tokens alone. Plus our other creatures. Yeah, we're good. We are set up with lethal once again. And our opponent has to have two more blockers to actually survive. Let's see if they've got it. Swamp. And Henrika Dominathi. Not going to cut it. Draw a card and lose a life. That actually reduces the number of creatures we need to get in with. We will not block. And lethal? Lethal? Swing in with literally everything except maybe Aviary Mechanic. Just in case. The opponent blocks Lunarch Veteran. And takes 16? Yes! Oh, that was the deck doing exactly what we wanted the deck to do. That was a perfect game. Alrighty, let's get to the deck wrap-up. That was gorgeous. I loved it. This deck is middle of the pack. I mean, I have a low MMR. I was at low platinum, and we went 50-50. So I wouldn't say the deck is great. I wouldn't say this is a deck to grind the ladder with, but it is a fun deck. If you want to build a sideboard for this deck, Outflank, Portable Hole, just a lot of basic white weenie stuff. If you look up a white weenie competitive deck and look at their sideboard, I'd copy it more or less. Angelic Ascension is good against like red and green decks if they don't have good removal. You can just get a 4/4 flyer, like play a Spirited Companion and then turn it into a 4/4 is a fairly solid line. And then just more removal. Make sure we can get through what our opponent's doing. And Clarion Spirit's important in this. It's especially good because we are, with all of our bounce creatures, going to double spell every single time it's our turn. So it gives us a lot of flying chump blockers. But that is White Monument. Love the deck. I feel like every card in this deck performed its function about as well as it could. I don't think there's any cuts or changes I'd make besides more Conclave Tribunals and more Shephet Dunes. And I don't even know if there's any good rare upgrades. Yeah, I'm not even going to look it up right now. This deck is, like most white weenie decks, just a good as is. Actually, there's one. There's one card. Locks it on. Oh, Craft. And it is Venerated Loxodon. This is just a Convoke card, and it pumps up everything that convoked it. This is really solid in any white weenie deck, and it's usually one of the few rares in a white weenie deck. So I would consider this card if I were you. And with that, I hope you all have a great day, and I hope you keep enjoying Budget Magic.